My last question for you has nothing to do with Alaska. It has to do with Palau. And I had an opportunity to travel to the Pacific Islands a couple months ago, and as you know, the Energy Committee has oversight of our territories here, and many of these Pacific Islands share some of the same issues that we face in Alaska. So I told them, look, I'm going to be monitoring many of your issues and helping to advocate where I can. I was able to visit with the president of Palau when I was there and deliver the good news that after 7 years, the omnibus finally made good on our commitment to fund the Palau Compact. There's been that went on, unfortunately, for too long, that we did not move as quickly as I think we should have. That was noticed by our friends in Palau and elsewhere in the Pacific. So I certainly hope that the department is making an effort to do right by Palau. And the issue that was raised with me by the president was, okay, you all said that this was going to happen, but when will we see the funding actually make it to Palau? So the question for you this afternoon is, what is the current status of the Palau Compact and the situation with regards to the funding that was promised pursuant to that compact?
For a general comment, a lot of folks don't realize that interior is 12 time zones. We stretch from the Virgin Islands, what went through a hurricane, all the way to Palau. And you were out there. Palau, to us, in influence, when you have the Chinese that have casinos that are billions of dollars of cash flow every month. And China continues to expand its influence on the Western Pacific, and that influence is at the expense of the United States of America. And when our budget lines are small in comparison to a cash flow of a casino, there's a little frustration. So our commitment to our territories is to be as flexible as we can, to remove the administrative burden, and understand that they're a little different as Montana, Alaska is. Sometimes the one-size-fits-all doesn't really fit how life is conducted out in our territories. So the more flexibility we can give them, I think is the better, and work with them, because financially we just cannot compete as a nation when you have cash flow of $4 billion a month on a casino. So it's a concern to the Department of Defense, certainly as me. It's a concern, it should be, to our nation, that we make sure we honor our treaty obligations and treat our territories with dignity, respect, and support.
Well, I'm sure they will be pleased to hear those final comments there, because it is something, when we make that commitment that we will be there, when it appears that we haven't kept that commitment, or that we have delayed it, it does cause them to question just that relationship that we have, and it does leave room for others to come in and wield influence, as we're certainly seeing with China. And it's not just Palau. The freely associated states of the Republic of the Marshall Islands, the Federated States of Micronesia, we have put in place financial assistance provisions in these amended compacts that were enacted back in 2003. They're supposed to expire at the end of FY 2023. And there was, again, concern that was raised, you have probably heard it as well, about what happens when we come to the end of this 5-year period. And the discussion out there about the views from the department, the views from the administration regarding how we maintain U.S. influence in this region when the current aid agreements expire. And I know that we tend to think that 5 years is a long ways away, but when you're sitting out there and you realize that doesn't feel like too many people back here are thinking about them, they worry about that timeline. So I put that on your radar screen as well. And you note the reality of your jurisdiction, 12 time zones, moving from one ocean to another, and to that third ocean as well, the Arctic Ocean. So your responsibilities are significant and very diverse in many ways. So I don't know if you care to comment on whether or not the administration has a view with our freely associated states and where we go after 2023.
We share your concerns. We're scheduled to have, I think, the first state visit to the president shortly. I think it's scheduled I want to say in June, which will be good.
Good.
But I think they feel, to a degree, neglected when I go out there, and I think they probably have in many areas. They're an important part of the United States, and their issues are our issues. But I think Interior needs to step up the level of commitment. And I look forward to going out with you and seeing. It's been a long time for me to go out in the Western Pacific, so I think it probably needs. I'm late in going back out.
I know they will welcome you.